I want to share something with you that completely changed my life. No, it's not a cliche like just think positive. The shift is so simple, but it took me years to see it, even though I was trained in resilience and mind training when I was young. You think that would make me bulletproof, right? But here's the truth, self doubt still came to me, and I bet you felt it too. We live in a culture that pushes us to do more, be more, prove more. But no one teaches us how to deal with the voice in our head, the one that whispers, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if I'm ugly? What if she will not love me? I know you've asked yourself that. I did too. And here's the wild thing. Even after of training of mind, those questions still showed up. What I learned is it is not about getting rid of that voice. It is about changing how you respond to it. That's the shift. Earlier, I believed emotional intelligence at work meant controlling emotions. Hide the frustration, stay composed, never show doubt. But every time I did that, the atmosphere grew heavier, meeting felt tense, people held back their ideas, and collaboration turned into quiet competition. The shift happened when I stopped treating emotions as obstacles and started treating them as signals. I began to experiment with new responses, really experience what changed in the room, and then reflect on the outcome. Through this cycle, something clicked. People opened up, teams started listening to each other, morale rose, not because the workload changed, but because the emotional climate changed. That's when I realized emotional intelligence isn't about hiding feeling. It's about experimenting, experiencing, and reflecting, turning emotions into clarity. And with that shift, the workplace turned from a pressure zone into a place of trust, creativity, and growth. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was about to step on the stage to speak. My heart was racing, my palm was sweaty, and I got this twist in my stomach. And a voice whispered, they will see right through you. Earlier me would have panicked. I would have tried to silence the fear, push it down, pretend it wasn't there. But this time I did something different. I paused, took one breath, and asked myself, what if this fear doesn't mean I'm failing? What if it means I care? In that moment, I remembered why I was there, not to perform, but to share something that could matter to other people. They came to listen so I could give them the best of me. That thought changed everything. That thought didn't erase the fear, but it changed my relationship with it. The fear became energy, and instead of crushing me, it carried me on to that stage. That's when I realized fear isn't the enemy, it's a signal. And when we experience it, experiment with it, and reflect on it, fear can transform into fuel. So, how do we practice this in real life? It's simple. Experience, notice the fear, discomfort, or challenge. Don't resist it. Experiment, try responding differently. Pause, breathe, take a new action. Reflect, observe what worked, what shifted, and what didn't. Learn from it. When you combine this ancient wisdom, mindfulness, compassion, emotional awareness, and modern science, neuroscience, cognitive psychology, you create a framework that turns fear and self doubt into clarity, courage, and growth. And here's the part we often overlook, be gentle with yourself along the way in this whole process. When you treat yourself like an enemy, the self doubt only grows louder. But when you respond with compassion, like you would do to a friend, you actually strengthen your resilience. I learned this early through my training. true resilience isn't about being tough. It is about being kind to yourself, even in the hardest moments of your life. So let me ask you, when self doubt shows up, what story do you usually tell yourself? And what story would you tell instead? Share it in the comment section. I would love to hear your shift. If this spoke to you, like the video, subscribe, or maybe share it with someone who needs it today. Because sometimes one small shift really does change everything. Until next time, be kind to yourself.